Greetings, Goddess Body Mind Spirit community. This is your Goddess Guru, Tara Omilade, here to share a word of inspiration with you on your path to self-realization and self-mastery. Today is July 8th. It is, one day after Mercury retrograde. And I had been telling the people in Patreon who get readings that the energy right before and right after the day matters. You have to look and see what's going to happen. You have to be ready for stuff to pop off on those days too. And I've learned some of the stuff you can expect and anticipate, and some not so much. So I just wanted to kind of give an update. First of all, thank you to everybody who joins me here. I appreciate it. I never take your time lightly. Thank you to all the Patreon members. You're getting this first. And thank you to all of the new subscribers and those of you who are tried and true. I'm just so happy to be connected to you all. So I'm not just doing Mercury retrograde, I'm also doing eclipse energy because it's all mixed in there together. But yeah, I had done a reading and I had told everybody, that we have to really understand that this time is called the time between the eclipses. So we're under the eclipse energy coming from both directions. We're under the eclipse energy of the Cancer, that Cancer new moon, and then we're under the eclipse energy of the full moon in Capricorn. So, this is not the day of that we have to really think about. It affects us before and after. So we're at the time between the eclipses. And right after that eclipse, Mercury retrograde decided to go on ahead and go into effect. And we've had Venus move into Cancer and Mars move into Leo. So that's pretty good, even though Mars is invisible right now, which means its energy is weak. But in Leo's, it's still going to give us some good, results. Venus is really good in Cancer. So, All right, so I made a list. So, Mercury retrograde. Sorry, y'all, I'm standing outside. There was a bee. A day or two before Mercury retrograde, I got a new piece of technology. Mercury deals with technology. And in particular, this technology has to do with business, which of course Mercury has to do with business. And so that was good. But, I was still a little bit like, I had to go on ahead and go for it, but I was like, I don't know. And I'd be doggone. It's a new laptop. Everyone in Patreon knows that my laptop died the last Mercury retrograde, and I've been trying to get it fixed, but I just got an opportunity to get a new one. So I was excited. I was like, wow, Mercury retrograde is giving me. Okay, so, but I just need to figure out this little ding. So to me, both ways, that's Mercury retrograde. One of the things I had talked about in it's the monthly reading that I do, is I give an Odu. So one reading gets an Odu. And the Odu for this month is Obara. And one of the things that Obara teaches is that sometimes you may have to sacrifice what you want for the sake of the greater community. And this weekend, I was like, okay, Obara is in effect. Let me just follow the wisdom of the Oracle, because that's the best way to do it. But I just felt like I had so much responsibility this weekend. Just so much responsibility. Let me backtrack just a little bit. Mercury retrograde, I went home because I needed to drop off my younger son. He's hanging out with my older brother and his family. So I was with siblings, which Mercury, the third house in particular, which is set by the tone of Mercury, is about siblings. Mercury has to do with siblings. So I was with my siblings this weekend, talked to a cousin. I was there hanging out with them. And sometimes when I go home, I just have extra responsibility. It's just, I'm the auntie. I'm the lone auntie. well, my sister-in-law's there too. So it's always a little extra responsibility whenever I go home and all my nieces and nephews are, there. So yeah, I was just like, man, I just I just want to come home and relax and sit outside in the country because it's Mississippi, not so much. So that Obara reading came. I was like so grateful. I was like, I'm so grateful that I was able to see this Obara reading. I needed to remember what Obara told me so that I could keep a good attitude. And for me, the eclipse is happening in my ninth house, which has to do with perspective. And I've just noticed, because the North Node is there, this year is about perspective for me. I'm constantly saying to myself, well, you know, you have a stinking attitude, or you can be more optimistic and positive. And Mercury even has to do with the mind too. So I just had to use Obara to make sure I remained understanding that sometimes you just have to take one for the home team, baby. You have to take one for the home team. It was nothing really bad, just felt like extra responsibility. And Mercury has to do with short trips. I took a short trip this weekend. And it looks like I have so many short trips planned. And my family, you can ask them, I don't like traveling a lot because it takes me out of my routines, and I don't like that. So, yeah, I'm looking at my calendar like, can I fit in all of these short trips? So that was something that happened. Let's see here, what else? I'm looking to see if I have good lighting. Okay, so I have been my learning houses are lit up with this Mercury, and I have been all over learning about all things regarding health. I just said, you know what? If it seems interesting to me, I'm going for it. And so I've been listening to some podcasts, which I hadn't been listening to podcasting until like the last few weeks, on a regular basis. I put it that way. And so I found one. It's a few that I'm listening to regarding health. And lo and behold, y'all know, well, those of us in Patreon, I don't know how much I've talked about this publicly, but I've just been saying, I've got to get this intestinal gut flora down, or that's what cancer signifies. Cancer is about the gut, it's about the stomach, it's about that intestinal flora. And so I was driving home, Mercury, and Mercury and Mars have been conjunct, I think. So, Mars has to do with cars too. So it's like I'm completely and totally matching up with this energy in so many ways. Driving home, listening to these podcasts, and one was talking about intestinal gut flora, the importance of it. Like if we lost our intestinal gut flora today, we would die. And how we are as much microbial as we are human. For those of you who know this and get it, like don't judge me because I didn't know. I knew it was important, but this intestinal gut flora thing is important. So I was like, oh wow, eclipse knowledge, because it's about cancer. So hopefully one of my goals is to, after I really get myself in a routine with this channel, is to really build up another channel that's about all that I'm learning regarding health and wellness, because I'm passionate about that too. So I do encourage you. I plan on posting a link to what I listened to in Patreon, because they talked about just how there's like signs that you can look for to know if there's something off with your health. These are naturopaths talking, and they're typically talking about stuff that we won't hear from allopathic doctors. So yeah, I'll post that. I don't have to wait to be able to talk about it on my channel, just to share the information, because it's so very important and it matches the energy of cancer. Let me see okay, I'm gonna give you the big shebang. I couldn't sleep. Have you been able to sleep? And if I look real greasy, I'm sorry y'all, I can't tell. I am sweaty. Anywho, I was determined to make this outside in nature with the Orisha, so it ain't always pretty when you outside. Sorry y'all. Let's see here. I also couldn't sleep while I was at home. I just would wake up at the oddest times and I could not for the life of me go back to sleep. So I don't know what was up with that in Mercury retrograde. And what made me say, you know what, I'm not going to even wait to get home in the AC to make this video. I'm doing this right outside my credit union. I look at my account this morning. I was getting ready to go make some purchases and just wanted to check my balance. And lo and behold, I see a fraudulent charge. April, the astrologer, the cosmic homegirl, said whenever you're dealing with these mutable type energies, which is not an immutable sign, actually. It's in Leo, which is fixed. But anyway, yeah, that's what Mercury retrograde is giving on this side. On the other side, it gave me a laptop. On this side, a fraudulent charge. And it was made this morning. And so I called well, not right away, but as I was looking, I'm like, I don't even use this card for iTunes. Like, where's this coming from? And so when I talked to the people on the phone from the debit card, or, it's credit card or Visa, they were like, yeah, it was 2 charges testing to see, is this like doing a test charge? And it was for $0. And then they charged $102. So 102. 1 plus 2 is 3. That's Yeshua Legwa's number. 3rd house. That's the house of Gemini. Oh my God. So far, that's how it's going for me. And I ain't gonna complain because they could have took all my money, even though I'm sure I'll get it back because, it's Visa or whatever. But, I always say a lot of times, like when I got into the car accident during Mercury retrograde a few years back, said it happened in the best way. I mean, if it had to happen, it happened in the best way it could potentially happen. So same with here. They could have took all my money in one fell swoop, or I could have gone days without seeing it. And they could have messed with my money even more. But the charge was made today, July 8th. And yeah. So yeah, y'all, and I asked the lady in the bank, like, how did this happen? And she said sometimes they just sit down and they just start typing in numbers until they find a number that works. They test your card, they test to see does it work, and then they charge it. So, it's like, maybe I need to do a ritual at Yeshua Legwa or something like that, saying, hey, I asked for blessings for travel. I guess I should have asked for blessings to keep my stuff in my bank, my money in my bank at Yeshua Legwa. So anywho, y'all, I'm laughing about it. I'm not crying about it or anything. It could be so much worse. Worse things could have happened to me. Way worse things. So, but I do think, I just want to let y'all know, it's on and popping. And I'm like, okay, thank you, Yeshua Legwa. Let's do some other stuff, Yeshua Legwa. Let's do some other stuff. Mercury, let's do some other stuff. Anywho, wishing y'all a great day, and y'all will be hearing from me soon. Time between the eclipses, so next week is the full moon. Y'all, let's get deep, deep, deep into our spiritual practices, okay? Love y'all. Take care. And my Patreon is Patreon, patreon.com/goddess body, mind, spirit. My website is goddessbodymindspirit.com. You can go there if you need a reading. Y'all take care. Love y'all. Keep me posted on how things are going for you. All right. I want to know, how are things going for you? Peace.